Barbenheimer continues as Barbie is about to pass $1 billion and Oppenheimer is about to pass $500 million. Mattel and Crayola are about to make so many movies about toys, it's gonna drive you crazy. Let's break down this week's movie news.
Hello, movie friends. Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast. And we have a busier week of news than we've had of late because of the strike. So we got a lot of announcements, trailers, casting, and all sorts of news. Plus, the box office is still rocking with Oppenheimer and Barbie, as well as a couple of new film releases that performed really well in their opening weekend. So let's get into the box office. In Barbie, in its third straight week, is still number one at the box office with $58 million this weekend and is expected to pass $1 billion sometime later this weekend. So huge numbers by Barbie. It looks like it will hit 1.5 billion maybe globally.
Your projections, you're always all over you're so far ahead.
I said 1.5 billion last week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It might not. Maybe. We'll see.
It's going to hit 1.5.
That's a lot of money.
It's only been 3 weeks, player.
Yeah, but it's already gone down to now only 58 million domestic weekend, which is still a lot. It's really impressive.
We'll
it's
see,
about
man.
to pass $1 billion, which is insanely impressive.
Do you want to bet on it?
1.5 billion bet on Barbie?
Yeah, 1.5.
Absolutely, I'll bet on that.
We'll bet $20.
I'll bet the under 1,000% on that.
All right.
Under 1.5
Shake in the
billion.
air.
Shake in the air.
1.5.
A movie comes out, he's like, expected to make $17 billion this weekend.
Hey, man, we'll see what happens when all's said and done.
But Barbenheimer, like Anthony said, is continuing to decimate the box office because Oppenheimer pulled in another $28 million domestic this weekend and is expected to pass $500 million global. A World War II rated R film about physicists talking in rooms.
I wouldn't have been surprised if 28 million was his first weekend.
That's crazy.
That wouldn't have shocked me.
Absolutely bonkers.
But to make it the third weekend, that's wild.
They're both performing so well around the entire world. Barbie's over $550 million internationally, which is absurd.
I can't remember 2 releases being at the top of the box office 3 weeks in a row.
I'm sure it's happened a few times.
I can't think of it's always generally if it's one big movie release, but for two,
it happens more often than you think.
Probably, yeah.
There's a lot of big movies that come out together, you know.
So many.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's more common than you think. But next up in third place, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, which pulled in $27 million in its opening weekend. Pretty damn healthy for it was only about a $75 million budget for this animated feature. We saw it about a month and a half ago. It's really solid. If you love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's been revamped basically for this new generation, younger kids. It's really relevant, and we enjoyed the hell out of it. The animation is incredible, so recommend checking it out.
Yeah, that's a modest budget, so it'll definitely make money. Probably $250 million with its total gross with that kind of opening. So
see, that I can see, yeah.
Good success.
That I see.
I'm telling you, Barbie's gonna hit 1.5, and you're gonna be buying me ramen.
Who said buying you ramen? You just said $20.
Yeah, but I'll be using that $20 to buy ramen.
Okay, I'll be paying for your ramen, but we live in LA. Ramen for $20, where are you gonna find that?
Down the street, player.
Plus tax and tip.
Yeah, you can get one.
You can get a small children's version. You can get a kid's ramen. Comes clear at like 19.
Get a miso soup.
That's like 1920 in Los Angeles, man. I don't know where you live. Anthony lives in Nebraska, apparently.
Next up, at number 5 in its second weekend, Haunted Mansion from Disney just is not performing well. $9 million. This had a huge budget. It was actually more expensive than Oppenheimer with a $160 million budget. It's just odd that Disney released a Haunted Mansion horror film in summer. Why?
There's so many horror movies coming out at odd times this year.
Like, why not release...
Or not even horror movies, just spooky movies.
So why not release this into Halloween?
Because they need money. They
I
need
guess.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
They've been losing.
That's a good point.
That's why we keep bringing it up. All these studios are releasing these movies because they need money. Like Disney's lost so much money at the box office the last 2 years.
Yeah,
they desperately need some cash. They gotta pay the bills.
But you can see this movie could have done pretty well in Halloween.
Probably
could have done. It would have done much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I mean, let's go see the Haunted House Halloween movie
in July. In August.
Yeah. No, let's go see Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Exactly.
That's what people are saying.
You skipped one. You skipped 4. The Meg 2.
I missed the Meg.
The Meg 2, which Anthony clearly doesn't care about, pulled in a $25 million domestic opening weekend. And even though it debuted 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, it's up to 28% now for a critic score. But it debuted at 0%. But that was, I think, probably just like maybe a couple dozen critics. But it's, it's the Meg. But it pulled in a solid box office. I mean, people still like these movies.
I believe it grossed over $100 million just in China already. So the Meg is a massive international hit. Let me just check out the numbers.
It might be too soon to get them.
Yeah. How about you list off the next movie?
I'll list off the next one. So Talk to Me, which has been out for now its second weekend. It's been a full week release. It has reached a total of $13 million in its first full week. Modest success for a budget of, what was it, $10 million?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it'll pull in a little bit of a profit for A24.
I believe the budget was $5 million.
Was it that? Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's $5 million.
So, yeah, it's a little profitable, little indie film now. And good for them because, like we said, A24 needed a little bit of profit because they've been also bleeding money the last year and a half with huge bombs at the box office this year. So they needed a little cash flow because Past Lives, Beau is Afraid, the Julie Louis-Dreyfus movie tanked $30 million in the red. So they needed a little bit of cash flow. You got to keep the lights on.
Jim's all about cash flow this week.
Hey, it's a business perspective. If you can keep the lights on for a month, then okay, we can do it again.
You're talking like a producer.
You gotta. I highly doubt you can find the China numbers right now.
It made $20 million in China in its opening weekend.
He found the China numbers, everybody.
So very, very good in China just for its weekend.
So yeah, it's probably pulled in like over $50 million globally.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like the Meg one. I might watch it.
It's silly.
It's silly, but it's just like it's whatever. It's a fucking giant shark movie.
What's the tagline? Like new shark, old chum.
Old chum. Yeah,
like that.
Statham's the old chum.
All right, let's get into the news and let's update everybody on the WGA, the Writers Guild, and their strike with the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers in the studios, the AMPTP. So apparently there's no end in sight because on Friday, representatives from major studios and streamers held their first meeting with the WGA since their negotiations hit a deadlock back in May 1st and then led to the strike for the WGA starting on May 2nd. However, the meeting did not yield any agreement on the pertinent issues as reported by the WGA negotiating committee, and it seems like this is just going to draw out for months and months and months.
Yeah, it might last until next year. And now Steven Soderbergh actually commented on both the strikes and AI and also streamers. And the accomplished director said, "Data transparency is the one that keeps me up at night." He said when discussing where he stands on AI, and since working with Max on his most recent projects, Let Them All Talk, in Full Circle, he revealed that the streamer gave him next to no information on how his work was actually performing on the platform, opting instead to use vague statements like, "We feel good about these numbers. The comps are right in line with what we are hoping for." If a show is successful to the public, too, it's usually given only a confusing metric to go by to define that success. So Soderbergh said AI is a tool that can be dangerously misused, but this adherence to keeping numbers hidden indicates a deeper rot in the industry. Well, it's not just that there are two potential reasons. He says there are two main reasons why we're not getting the information. One could be that they're making a lot more money than anybody knows and that they're willing to tell us. And the other reason is that they're making a lot less money than anybody knows, and they don't want anybody to know that, including Wall Street. So there's reasons for the shady gray area kinds of reporting. So he's worried about like not being able to understand, even as the director of a movie, they're not telling him realistically how his projects are doing.
Yeah, it's nice to see a big director bring this up because we brought up multiple times and how not a lot of people are talking about this. Is one of the main parts of the strike is in order to figure out what residuals deserve to be paid to actors and writers who make these projects for streamers, we have to know the numbers, just like TV shows and movies that used to be released on network TV that had funding and we got to see actual numbers. But now we have no idea what these numbers are because the streamers give the numbers to the public. The streamers, oh yeah, it was the most watched show ever. Says who? Says us.
They say that every time.
Trust us.
They say that every time.
Oh, billion minutes watched, but how many views? How many people watched the whole show?
How many people were sleeping while it was playing?
Seriously. So that's one of the things is no one knows the real numbers, and we brought it multiple times that a lot of streamers probably don't want to know that their $300 million shows are getting such low views and they're wasting a ton of money on these projects. They don't want Wall Street to know because their stocks will drop, their value will drop if they know how few views they're actually getting on a lot of these shows and movies.
Yeah, their shareholders were will jump ship at the first sign of trouble. So it's not good.
It's a crazy little situation. Oh, not a little crazy situation. It's so unique. It's never happened like this before. New technology, obviously.
Yeah.
New distribution platform.
The other main streaming platform that does, I think, a very good job of showcasing metrics is Spotify. You look at songs, it will show how many plays it has. So they're always putting that number next to the title of tracks, which I think is important. So maybe they can do something like that where you go to a movie and it shows how many views it has.
Like on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So
no, they definitely don't want that.
Yeah, they don't want that.
They really, really don't want that.
It'll be like, what was that? Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot movie.
Red Notice?
Red Notice. 1 million views. Or the new Gal Gadot movie, Heart of Stone.
I know. Can you imagine? Or even Rings of Power,
Yeah.
in terms of, sure, the first couple episodes had an insane amount of views,
People
but
were
the
curious.
drop-off was about 70 to 80% of people not finishing that series this first season.
People actually finished it.
People did. Hey, some people liked it, but I think most people did not enjoy that show, and I think that's what streamers are hiding right now, and they don't want to concede yet because they're probably just going to hold out as long as they can and try to figure out a way to do it without revealing true numbers. That's just the way this is happening right now. It's terrible.
Anyways, let's move on to some major casting announcements.
Rumors, not announcements. These are rumors, not official.
Yeah, but rumors this late in the game, they can be pretty substantial.
Ooh, rumors are so fun. Facts can often
Lander.
be misleading. Rumors, however, are often revealing. Ooh, I love rumors.
That's a bingo. Fantastic Four casting rumors. So the film is being directed by WandaVision's Matt Shakman, and then written by Josh Friedman. And then the main rumors that have been announced the last couple of days is Vanessa Kirby being cast as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn being cast as Johnny Storm, Eben Moss Backrack from The Bear being cast as The Thing.
No.
Oh, an unknown major role?
Yeah, read the sentence, bro.
Being cast in major role. No. It's just because everybody online said he's a thing. That's what everyone's saying.
Well, again, these are all rumors.
So... But also another thing is Mr. Fantastic. There's no substantial rumor. Nobody knows what's going on with that role.
It seems like maybe Kirby and Quinn are legit castings. That's my guess.
Yeah.
It seems like why would this come out the same day? Jack Quaid was always rumored to be Johnny Storm, but he actually came out yesterday saying he's not Johnny Storm. So lots of fan castings, but apparently a major fan casting is true, and a lot of people think it's Joseph Quinn.
There's a big running for Mr. Fantastic. I think Dev Patel would do a good job. He's in the running.
That'd be cool.
Dev Patel would be great.
Apparently Matt Smith was in the running. Adam Driver turned it down. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Again, these are just rumors. And I mean, even if this movie gets cast, they can't even finish the script right now, and they can't even go into production. So
it'll come out in 2035.
I mean, like, when it's news, but it's like, is it really news? It's good
Not
Twitter
until they
news.
sign.
It's Twitter news. That's what it is.
I'm sure. Here's the thing. I'm sure contracts have been signed. They just haven't released it.
I bet you they signed some contracts before the strike.
Yeah.
So a couple of
contracts have been signed. They just are delaying the announcement, and they're probably just leaking things just for fun.
That's how they do it. It's market. It's all marketing, and a lot of actors
behind closed doors. It's done.
They sign NDAs months and months in advance before a lot of casting rumors.
Yeah, and then when you see things released online, like this person has been added to this movie, like they signed on a month ago. It's just like they like to wait on casting announcements most of the time in the press. So we'll see what happens.
Let's get some Ben Affleck Batman news.
We haven't talked about Ben for a while.
I know, it's been a minute. So this is actually
you got the Boston hat on.
Cool little topic. I hope he's watching. So, got some news about Ben Affleck's Batman that won't ever get made, that almost got made. Now, Jay Olivia, who is a storyboard artist and animation film director at DC, said that I can't really say too much other than it was fucking awesome. It was the best. It was amazing. From my understanding, there were a couple of drafts of it. When I was brought on, I don't know whether it was the second draft or something, but it was what Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck had shown me. I've worked on a lot of Batman things, and what was really cool about it was tying together a lot of really cool Batman storylines that had never really been explored. Ben's story was going to cover something that had never really been covered in comics, but it was building off storylines in the Batman mythos over the last 80 years and approaching it from a new perspective. Now, Ben had to step down and removed himself from this project several years ago. It's called The Batman, due to personal reasons, having been experiencing the end of his marriage at the time. In an interview in 2020 with the New York Times, Affleck opened up about his struggles. I showed somebody the Batman script. He said, I think the script is good. I also think you'll drink yourself to death if you go through with what you just went through again.
Probably Matt.
Probably
Damon.
Matt.
That's too bad. It sounds like it could have been very promising.
I would love to read the script though. That'd be awesome. Maybe they'll turn it into like an animated movie or something.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see.
It's a little disappointing.
So sad. Next up, Secret Invasion. Marvel revealed that it actually cost $212 million to produce this show, which is considered one of the worst shows of the year and also the worst performing of the MCU TV shows. And so
it's the worst rated project from the MCU as well.
Yikes. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, how did that cost double Oppenheimer? It's crazy because Oppenheimer looks like incredible, breathtaking, groundbreaking visuals.
Passion.
Yeah.
Passion and care for the craft. And Barbie, it cost way more than Barbie. Barbie was $150.
Yeah.
So it's absurd that Secret Invasion cost this much money. And again, they don't want people to know how many people didn't watch this show that cost $212 million. And it cost $212 million according to them. According to them.
And plus, they shoot like mostly in Atlanta. It's not like they're traveling to
It's
many
all
locations.
green screen and blue screen, too. Even like I saw this breakdown of the scene where Nick Fury is just in an office.
It's
and
all
behind
green
him, it's all
screen.
green screen. It's like, you can't even build a fake wall.
Did you see the photo of the prop gun?
Yeah.
The fake toy gun that they used and they CGI'd the gun.
Where's the money going?
Why can't you just have him hold a real gun, a real prop gun?
I think they're just putting everything into visual effects, in CGI.
Like, you guys can't even make a prop gun?
You can't even put a coffee table. You can't even put a wall behind him. You're Marvel. It's crazy, man. It's like crazy to me.
Sam Jackson is just holding like this toy gun with dots on it. Like, what the fuck is going on there?
Yeah,
what's happening?
I've seen some clips from the show. But again, $212 million for possibly the worst show of the year, according to a lot of people that have told us about it.
Whew. Still on Marvel, so Loki Season 2 dropped its trailer. It comes out in about a month, the show on Disney+. It looks like with this trailer, it looks like they're putting more Loki into the show.
According to the trailer.
Yeah, according to the trailer. They might have just cut it that way. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I did not finish the first season. I'm not sure if I'll tune into this. I'm just marveled out. So much Marvel. So maybe. I mean, I know a lot of people really enjoyed Loki, so I'm sure they're looking forward to this trailer.
It
definitely looks like a better trailer than the first season.
I think so too. And it looks like a lot more action going on.
Yeah.
So it looks honestly
less people talking down to him.
The trailer in this season looks better than the last season.
Yeah.
Plus Ki-Hee Kwan's in there. It looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now moving on to Scream 7 news. They have landed their director, Christopher Landon, who made Happy Death Day, which is an excellent original horror film. It's very much kind of like Groundhog Day, except a horror movie. And it's excellent. If you've never seen it, can't recommend it enough. It's a lot of fun.
Movie.
And a great choice for a director. He kind of fits that aesthetic and mood and tone of Scream 7, I think, really well in Scream.
Yeah, I love Happy Death Day. It's definitely like a top tier, underrated horror movie that very few people talk about. So good cast. Next up, we have Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy revealed that there are no deleted scenes of the film because Christopher Nolan gets what he wants.
He knows exactly what he wants. That's so rare.
He doesn't waste time. He doesn't waste scenes.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
Obviously, they probably trimmed some scenes up here and there, but like
not
no deleted scenes.
Yeah.
It's really impressive, and not many filmmakers can pull that off. To like the script is the movie. That doesn't happen very often. Even Tarantino has deleted scenes a ton of deleted scenes in his movies because he writes like 400-page scripts. But
but it's funny, a couple of his deleted scenes don't work.
They don't, especially
a couple of Pulp Fiction ones. They don't work.
The Joe's Monster Garage one. There's a scene where the wolf is talking to Monster Joe. It doesn't work.
It's like, whoa, can we get this ball rolling, guys?
It's not funny.
Damn.
It doesn't always work.
Yeah, it doesn't always work. But I mean, Nolan very rarely has deleted scenes in his films. I think there might be some in some of the Batman movies, but otherwise,
probably.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen deleted scenes of his movies.
I'm sure he's got plenty throughout his career, but I think that a great director knows when to cut scenes.
Yeah,
and a great editor and director.
Writer too.
Yeah, they know when this doesn't work.
Yeah,
you got to make those tough decisions.
All right, coming off the heels of Barbie's resounding success, Mattel is beginning to build their cinematic universe, the new MCU.
Now, first of all, they're going to build a bunch of toys, which we're going to list off, but Hot Wheels has been in development for about 2 years now.
Yeah, so J.J. Abrams is actually producing the Hot Wheels movie, so then they're also in pre-production on a Barney movie right now as well.
That's the one Daniel Kaluuya, right?
Yeah, that's it's going to be an R-rated film for adults, not for kids. But I'm sure they'll make a Barney for kids too.
A24 as well.
Yeah. So then we have Polly Pocket, Play-Doh, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, Monopoly, which just got announced as a film, Action Man, Beyblades. Beyblades.
Yep. It's just Beyblade, Anthony. Beyblade, singular. The list gets funnier, man.
American Girl doll, that's a given. Clue. Uno. How the fuck are you going to do Uno?
Apparently, Uno's going to be a heist movie.
Oh my God. Magic 8 Ball. Jesus Christ.
That supposedly is going to be a horror film.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
This is going to be a serial killer movie. Just kidding.
Chatty Cathy. Well, Thomas the Train Engine that's a given.
Thomas the Tank Engine, Anthony. Jesus, did you not play with Thomas the Tank?
It's Tank Engine, not Train Engine.
He's already a train.
That's true.
You wouldn't call yourself Anthony the Human Person.
Well, I wouldn't call myself Anthony the Head.
Well, he's just got a face. Thomas the Tank Engine. That's the kind of...
Get it right.
Yeah.
You come to my house, you get my wife's name right. It's Christina. Are you deaf or are you stupid? Christina.
Sick reference, bro.
Chatty Cathy. Betsy Watsy dolls. I don't think I know those ones. That doesn't sound familiar to me. Matchbox cars. So if Hot Wheels wasn't enough, now we got Matchbox cars, and then Viewmaster. Is that the?
That's the thing that it's just like
the slides?
Binoculars with slides.
What the fuck? How are you gonna make a movie about that?
But also, Polly Pocket has already got a director with Lena Dunham, as well as it's going to star Lily Collins.
So Polly Pocket, she's the one with the accessories.
Yeah, she's like a doll with accessories, I think.
I guess. Let me Google this.
Polly Pocket, yeah.
I mean, I know the name, but
it wasn't as popular as Barbie.
You know the name.
It was
Polly Pocket.
Light it up. Light it up, Polly Pocket.
I'm fucking crying.
Freaking Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, with the purse with all the items.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Hollywood gets one hit, and then they're like, we need 30 of these now.
Jesus Christ. They abandoned superheroes like overnight.
Well, go into Crayola.
All right, so Crayola,
the crayon company,
is getting into movies and TV.
Well, they make more like crayons, markers, colored pencils,
paper, notebooks, highlighters.
So obviously it's a no-brainer to make a movie.
Yeah. Now, I will say, they're not making, like, a crayon movie. Thank God. I thought that's what it was. They're making a production company, so it's going to be... Crayola will be launching Crayola Studios, because I'm sure they got a lot of bag, and they want to make some more. So, a new division of their existing company will create content for kids and families, and Crayola is not keeping their plans abstract, as they have set their first project already. Crayola will be teaming up with Mimo Studios, which is run by Nickelodeon, to create a project titled The Alien Adventures of Finn Caspian. So, I mean, it looks like they're going to be making original projects. They just have a ton of money of funding, so they're going to use their resources to create movies and TV shows.
Can you imagine how cheap crayons are to make and how much they sell them for? Like, the amount of profit they make on there.
It's like selling water.
It's insane. Yeah, wax and coloring, yeah, super expensive. The overhead on this.
We're losing money on this.
Yeah. They are swimming in cash, I'm sure. It's a smart idea to, like...
Yeah.
But I like how they're just going to make, like, kids stuff, like a kids show or a kids movie.
They really just monopolized the crayon market.
They really did.
There's
crayons and markers, holy
no other company.
Sharpie, yeah, they're the
Sharpie
marker
for markers.
competitive.
You're not gonna go to Sharpie for crayons.
No one else makes crayons
because Crayola also does colored pencils. They are the colored pencils. It's like
for kids, but like serious
I'm not a
artists.
kid.
Serious artists, they don't buy the Crayola one.
They have fancy ones.
Yeah, they're all
Crayola
right.
is.
Yeah, they're okay.
Crayola has fancy pencils
Not
too.
that fancy.
They're fancy.
No, when you like are a legit artist or you're really getting,
You're like, I'm not buying Crayola.
You get like that 100 colored.
Are you
pencils.
a legit artist?
No, but I've bought in that set before a few times. I used to draw colored pencils a lot.
Same, bro.
I used to never get the Crayola one though. So always get the
Crayola fancy pencils.
like that metal tin of like 150 colored pencils.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Drew a lot of Dragon Ball Z with that one. Just every Dragon Ball Z character.
What are you looking up over there?
Oh, they got some fancy ones. They got the ones with like the oh yeah, these are fancy ones. Vibrant colors too.
Oh, super fancy.
No, they got the fancy ones.
Moving on to what's this Oppenheimer viral fan thing?
Okay, so you remember the guy, the seat, the front row seat meme,
the madman who bought the one seat up front.
So it was actually at the Universal City Walk in LA. that screening. So the City Walk and IMAX employees, they prepared to give this person a prize because it became such a sensation. So they went to that showtime, went to that screening, and the employees waited in the theater to see who would sit down in that front row middle seat. And then the guy showed up, and he sat down, and they presented him with a bunch of gifts. They got him a huge poster, and then took photos with him and gave him all sorts of gift cards and stuff as a thank you for like unwillingly creating this huge sensation online. It's just this guy, he says he always gets that seat to all of the movies. Like that's where he always sits in movie theaters.
Yeah, I saw the interview. He's like, that's for like the last 10 years. I always get tickets super far in advance, and I pick that front and center seat because I like to be fully immersed in IMAX.
And it's just so funny that like they're like, let's reward this guy, and it was just at the theater that we like to go to.
He was probably like, what the hell is going on right now? It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Some more DC news. Apparently, Wonder Woman 3 is back on after Patty Jenkins script for the third film in that trilogy got axed when James Gunn took over the DCU.
And also the second was a failure. So.
Yeah. Well, it was streaming, so it was one of those hybrid movies.
It's a 5 on IMDb.
Sure is. It sure is. Now, apparently, it's back on with Gal Gadot working with James Gunn and Peter Safran to develop a new story and a new script for Diana. And it looks like she'll be reclaiming her role as Princess Diana, which is interesting because James Gunn has said that we're resetting the DCU, but we're bringing some characters here back. And I don't think it's a bad thing I think it's actually good to bring her back because I think she's perfect as Wonder Woman.
She's great as Wonder Woman, yeah.
Obviously, people will be upset. Why not bring Henry Cavill back? I think Superman's the person you have to reset with. But I think it's totally...
Are you saying the man's more important? Got him!
Superman. I never said that. I said Superman.
No. I think Superman's the most important character.
He's the biggest character in the history.
Yeah, it's okay to say that, man.
I didn't. You
didn't say. You froze.
Well,
I've never seen you freeze like that.
Freeze.
You were just standing. You sat there like.
That's not all. I wasn't frozen. I was just waiting for you to get your energy out so I could contemplate what to say and rebuttal with. I was just taking my time to respond. I had to let you get out of your system so that I could be like,
"What's your response?"
That he's the biggest character in the history of comic literature. That's what I just said a minute ago. See, look, you wasn't even listening. I let you get your thing out. Nope, got yourself. It's fucking it's Superman. That's the response. It's fucking Superman.
What's funny is that this contrasts what Dwayne Johnson just said about Black Adam. He went on Kevin Hart's show, like the talk show he has. And he blamed the change in DCU management for Black Adam 2 not happening. And it's like, then why is Wonder Woman 3 happening?
Oh.
So I say Black Adam sucked. If they made a better movie, they'd make another Black Adam.
But Wonder Woman 84 was not a great movie. But Wonder Woman was awesome as well as Gal's been in 7 projects for the DC.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like any of those other characters are returning. So I think...
No, but I mean versus Black Adam.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I think if Black Adam was good, they'd include him.
I think so too.
It's just Black Adam was not good.
Who knows? We don't know what the future of the DCU is going to be like, but... I think it's a good thing to bring Gal Gadot back. I think she completely embodies the character, and she's perfect as Diana.
Next up, speaking of 3s, we got an update on A Quiet Place 3. So the Quiet Place spinoff is actually in production right now. It's going to follow other characters. Joseph Quinn's in it.
It's pretty cool.
Speaking of him. And then Emily Blunt just came out in an interview saying that she was chatting with Cillian Murphy and her husband, John Krasinski, about Quiet Place 3 last night, and she said, "We were sitting on a rooftop all together drinking wine." Sounds nice. You know what would be great is if we keep this thing going, and it would have to be that we would all have to do it together. I don't want to be with a different director if we do it again. So she wants to do it as long as Krasinski and Murphy are on board too.
I like that. All right. So we got some Warner Brothers Max news here.
Yikes.
After HBO Max rebranded to Max, it's reported that Warner Brothers lost 1.8 million subscribers.
Are those just all people who didn't want to do the second sign up?
Maybe. I think some people are like, this is ridiculous.
I'm not going to set up for another app.
Which led to a reported 1.24 billion loss total over this rebrand.
I'm sure they projected this. I'm sure they expected some losses.
I'm sure they'll make it back. over time,
Yeah.
over time, people will come back, but I think just some people are like, this is annoying.
Well, I remember when they made the change, like we saw people online were complaining, like, I have to sign up for Max now. I have to download another app.
But you didn't have to. That's the thing. It was just like the screen people were screenshotting and showing, like, look at my struggle today. my struggle today. I have to push a button.
Life is so hard.
Open another app. It downloads the app automatically. If you're already signed into HBO Max, you're automatically signed into Max. So
it was just on my phone, yeah.
It was a very easy
Seamless.
transition that took 14 seconds. But you know, that's how life life is for a lot of us. That's the struggle of the day.
They spent more time screenshotting and tweeting it than they did actually.
They did.
it took up more time than it would be to actually sign into Max.
They did.
All you had to do was really sign into it. That's what you had to do.
You didn't. But if you were signed into HBO Max already, all you did was click to download the app.
Yeah,
and you're
download
good.
it. Yeah.
You're already signed into Max. So I think a lot of people are like probably annoyed by it.
I'm sure they knew some people aren't going to want to do it, so we're going to lose subscribers.
Yeah, some people don't want to. I have to push.
Download another app?
2 buttons.
What?
They'll come back.
They'll be back. He's back.
Moving on. Did I skip one? Oh, I did.
Asteroid City, Wes Anderson's awesome new film, will actually be available on Peacock this upcoming week. So if you have Peacock, keep an eye out for Asteroid City. We love the film. It's a return to form for Wes Anderson. Really fantastic, excellent movie. So check it out. If you didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, it'll be on Peacock.
He never left, man.
French Dispatch, he kind of left.
Still really well made.
Was it boring as hell though?
It might be my lowest on my ranking of.
It's
of
my
Wes
it's
Anderson's.
my last ranked.
It might
Wes
be my
Anderson
last
movie.
one. Yeah. It probably would be. All right, moving on to a tragic passing to Angus Cloud, who was on Euphoria. Out of nowhere, was he 25 years old? Passed away earlier this week. Very tragic news. Very shocking and sudden. Lots of the other cast members have been paying tribute to him online, and it's really, really sad situation.
Yeah, he was very young, and we never watched the show, so I've never seen him performing or anything. But a lot of people we know are big fans of the show, so they hit them hard.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
terrible news. Someone
sad.
passed away that young.
That young, yeah, 25.
Beginning of your career. Tragic. All right, that wraps movie news. We had a pretty good amount today.
There's a lot.
Even though there's the strikes and not much going on, we still managed to get some stuff in there.
Hey, great job.
Episodes this week. Tomorrow, don't miss it, we're doing The Matrix, movies from memory. Anthony and I will try to recount The Matrix as best as we can, completely from memory.
It's funny.
It's a good one. You're not going to want to miss it. And then Thursday, we're doing an episode on... What did you edit?
I have to edit.
Which one?
Something.
Something. We're doing something. No, it's on the calendar. No, I'm editing it. It's 1999, A Year in Film.
Yes, that's why I couldn't remember, because you're doing it.
So that's going to be a lot of fun because
It was a crazy year, man.
Yeah, because we did 2017, A Year in Film last year for an episode, and I forgot how many good movies there were in 2017. That was so fun to talk about. A lot of people enjoyed that episode, but 1999
Tripled it.
It's going to blow your hair back how many legitimately good movies came out that year.
There were so many movies we had to organize it by categories of genres.
I think there were 100 movies that we talked about.
Oh yeah, it had to have been 100.
Absurd. But we broke it down, top 10. Then we went through genre. We did best drama, comedy. There were so many comedies.
Yeah.
Action. Not that many action movies.
Horror.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So-
There were a lot of comedies.
That used to be
So
the bread
many.
and butter of Hollywood for like the early 2000s.
It used to be like every week, and a
90s
new
and
comedy
2000s.
would come out almost every
It
weekend.
really was. A lot of high school comedies.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Anyways, that wraps our episode on Movie News. Take care, everybody.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.